Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Desmond Z, if this is the first time that you've ever seen me. I am here today to do the mid-year book freak out tag, whatever that thing is called. I'm here to do a mid-year review. We're here to talk about the first 6 months. The first 6 months, okay? Because now 6 months have officially passed, so I can do it now. I can do it now. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it, okay? The first question is best of 2024 so far. And for that, I'm gonna have to go with Sweetness in the Skin. I love this book. It was so good. It was so good. I talked about this book not too long ago, probably in the last video I posted, which was like 2 weeks ago. Pardon my little mini break. You know, sometimes it's needed, sometimes it's unexpected, sometimes things happen. But this book is about this young girl living in Kingston, Jamaica. Her name, what was this girl's name? I forgot this girl's name already. Her nickname was Peaches, right? I know Pumpkin. Yeah, I knew it started with a P, and I knew it was like a fruit or a veggie or something like that. Okay, so we have Pumpkin, who is living in Kingston, Jamaica. She has a no good, low down, dirty mama, and all she wants to do is move to Paris and be with her aunt, right? But we go deeper than that, and we find out why her mom was low down, dirty, no good. We found out why she wanted to live with her aunt, the relationship between the aunt and the sister, and then their mom. Like we're dealing with this whole dynamic, this whole family dynamic of these women living in this house and their circumstances and all of those things, you know? And I really, really, really enjoyed this book so much. And it's set in like 1995, I believe. Yeah. I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed it, and I highly recommend you read it. I feel like that was a quick little preview. If you want a deeper discussion about it, I did go deeper into this book. I'll post the video that I fully reviewed this in. I'll put it up here. Best sequel. Now, normally when I do this this video, I never have something to post for best sequel because, like I say, sequels tend to be in like fantasy type of books or whatever, and I don't read fantasy. So I never have one, but this year I got one. I have one. The Guncle Abroad is the sequel to The Guncle. This book follows a man named Patrick O'Hara, who is an actor. He has a niece and a nephew who he looks after one summer in the original book. And because his brother is going through some things and he brings the niece and nephew into his home and looks after them for a summer, but he's used to just being, you know, single man, you know, galloping around his city and just being Patrick, okay? He's just used to being, you know, rich actor and just doing his Hollywood thing. So now we come back together. He's with his niece and nephew again, but the dad is getting remarried. And so he's traveling around the country with his niece and nephew, and they're gonna end up in Italy, I believe, where the wedding between, you know, the brother and his new bride will happen. But the niece and nephew are apprehensive about this new union and then the family dynamic changing, and he's here to not, you know, like just smooth things over, you know, and be Captain Save a Niece and Nephew again, okay? And that's what he's here to do. I really did enjoy this. And in my original review, I said it did get kind of sappy at times, but for the type of book that it is, it worked, and I really enjoyed it. New release you haven't read yet, that is gonna be Long After We Are Gone. I started that book in audio form, and I wasn't really into it. And so I was like, okay, I'll get the physical. I have yet to buy the physical, but that is one that I want to read. So that's a new release that I haven't read yet, Long After We Are Gone. I talked about that book in my like anticipated summer releases or whatever that I posted a few videos back. I'll put a link up here to that if you want to see that. Anticipated release coming up later this year. For that, I have to say one of them. I think I have two. I have two for this question, and one of them is the sequel, which is the sequel to a book called The Plot. This book was about a teacher. I think he's teaching like a community college or teaching like some creative writing workshop or something like that. And he has a student who comes in. He has this really good idea for a book, and he's like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna publish this. It's so great. It's so cool. Da 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 da. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But secretly, he's like, it's actually really fucking good. And I wish I thought of that. So when that student dies, this teacher takes the plot of that book and publishes it. He writes it, finishes it, polishes it up, and publishes it as his own work. And then someone comes along and starts sending him secret letters and messages and like, I know what you did. You low down, dirty, no good bastard. You stole this. This ain't your idea. And I'm finna let the world know. I'm finna put you on blast, put you up on the big Summer Jam screen and let the world know you ain't right. You ain't right. And now we have the sequel to this book when everything else is played out and we're back into this world. Now I won't read the description of the sequel because I feel like if you haven't read the first one, then that'll kind of spoil some things for you. Like if you want to go and read it yourself, then you will. But for the sake of this video and not spoiling it for those who don't want it to be spoiled, I won't read the book, the summary to the sequel, but just know that I am excited about that, okay? And the other one is, there's a sequel to The Girl with the Louding Voice. Now, I read that book at the end of last year, and I loved that book so much. Like, ooh, I did not expect to love that book so much. I've talked about how I had seen that book around for a while, and I just never picked it up, and then when I finally did, it was just, 5 stars, amazing, just top tier. So yeah, I am really looking forward to the sequel to the Girl with the Louding Voice, and it's called And So I Soar. Yeah, that's what it's called. Biggest disappointments. Now there have been quite a few. There have been quite a few disappointments, but for the sake of this video, I have 2 of them, and one is Cinema Love. I was really looking forward to this. And I DNF'd this book, but it's more of a soft DNF. I am going to come back to this. I just can't get with it. I cannot get with it. I know a lot of people really like this book. They're enjoying it. It's not the story. I believe it's just the way it's being told. And also, I was very wrong about this when I initially spoke about this book. I thought it was about like lavender marriages or something. I was very wrong. This is about Bao Mei. For more than 30 years, Oh Second, who is a man, that's his name, Oh Second, and Bao Mei have cobbled together a meager existence in New York City's Chinatown. But unlike other couples, these two share an unusual past. Back home, they frequented the Workers' Cinema, a theater where gay men cruise for love. And Oh Second and his countrymen found intimacy in the screening rooms. In the box office, Bao Mei sold movie tickets. So you have one person in this marriage, the man, who was going there to hook up with other men on the low because, you know, homophobia. And they had to do what they had to do to find connection. And then you had Bao Mei, who was working at the ticket box. And here we are 30 years later, they're living in New York City, they're married, okay? And so we go back and forth between their time now here in New York and then their time back home in China. And then there's also a third person. What was his name? It was the guy that Oh Second like had a relationship with. And it's just, I don't know. I had to DNF it. I wasn't following along. I didn't like the way the story was being told. It just, I don't know what else to say. I will come back to that. The second one is The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I believe that's how you say his name. Not Alex. It's Alex, right? Alex Michaelides. Yeah, that's it. That is it, yeah. I talked about how I love The Silent Patient. 5 stars, amazing, top tier, loved it. Boom, kaboom, kaboom. I've never said that before. Where the fuck did that come from? The Fury is his latest release, and I can't get past like the 3rd or 4th chapter. I cannot. It's about this reclusive actress who is an American, but now she lives in London because she married a Brit like years ago, and she just stayed there. She loved it. She has a 17-year-old son. She invites a group of her friends to this lavish island that she owns. And I don't know. Somebody's supposed to come up dead. And I don't know. I cannot get through it. I cannot get through it. And that is one I don't think I will be returning to, because I've actually tried like multiple times. I was like, oh, let me start it again. Let me start it again. Let me start it again. And it's not working. It's not working for me. So it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Sometimes you just need to DNF and move on. DNF and move on. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Biggest surprise of 2024. One, because I have two. One of those for me has been The Last Couple Standing. This book is about a couple who decides to open up their marriage after seeing a bunch of their other friends get divorced, and they don't want to go down that same road. They don't want that fate. So they open up their marriage, and like drama, mess ensues, and they have two children. So they're trying to hide this from their children, from their other friends, family, people in their neighborhood. And I loved this book, and I picked it up on a whim. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. This book was funny. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. This was just a good book. And what more can I say? Oh, what I can say is that the audiobook really, really enhances the reading experience for this, because I think the narrator does a great job, and like her comedic timing and just the way she read the story, it just really brings it alive. So I would highly recommend listening to the audio. And if you're not really a big audiobook fan, maybe just listen to it while you physically read it. It just helps. It helps. I'm telling you, it does. Another big surprise for me was Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Now, I've read two other books by Riley, and I did not like them books at all. I read The House Across the Lake. Is it The House Across the Lake? Yeah, I hated that book. I also read The Only One Left. The Last One Left? Yeah, it's this one. The Only One Left. I read this. Now, this was okay. I didn't like just flat out dislike this book, but it was okay. It was cool. It was all right, okay? And so, yeah. Oh, and I DNF'd. What was that other book? The one about this girl riding back home with this guy from college, and somebody in there, there's also like, they don't know, one of them might be a murderer, something like that. Yeah. Make it through the night, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. DNF that. So I have not had the best of luck with Riley Sager, but this one I picked up, one because I got an advanced audio copy through Libro FM. Shout out to Libro FM. They gave me an advanced audio copy, so I listened to that, and I actually enjoyed it. Now, there was some things I did not like about it. It wasn't perfect. I didn't just flat out like, oh my God, this is amazing. But I did enjoy my time with the book overall. This book is set in, we follow two different timelines. One is in the 90s, and then one is in current day. I think it's 2024. It's about this guy, what is his name? Ethan Marsh, yeah. One July night, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend and neighbor, Billy, fell asleep in a tent and set up on a manicured lawn in a quiet, quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. And then in the morning, Ethan wakes up and his best friend Billy is gone. So it's been over 20 years. Billy was never found, never heard from again. Everybody assumes, he was kidnapped, he was killed, blase, blase. Now, what happened when Ethan's life falls apart and he comes back home and, moves back into his family home because his parents decide, you know what, we don't need this big house, we're gonna move to Florida and, live on the beach, okay? And now, everything that happened back then is coming back, there's new developments in the case, things like there's hauntings around the neighborhood. Was Billy spotted? Was he really actually dead all this time, or was he alive? Who knows? So now Ethan has to relive this whole thing when he's back home. And was it 20 years later? No, it's 30 years. Yeah, can you count, Desmond? From 94 to 2024, that's 30 years. Yeah. Come on, Desmond. So yeah, that's basically the gist of this book. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. It surprised me. I was not expecting to enjoy it because Riley's track record with me has not been a smooth one, but I enjoyed this one. Fictional Crush, that does not apply to me because I never really get crushes on characters in books, so that's a no for me. Favorite new character? This one, I'll just say Pumpkin from Sweetness in the Skin. Like, I was rooting for Pumpkin. I wanted the best for her. I wanted her to have a happy ending. and I was invested in her story. So yeah, that's my current favorite new character, I can say. Books that made you cry. No book has made me cry this year. No, I did reread Yinka, Where's Your Husband, which I talked about earlier, and I loved that book when I first read it in 2022. I love it even more now, and I will say, back in 2022, it choked me up a bit. I was a bit choked up how much I was rooting for Yinka, and I wanted her to be happy. So if it counts, it did get me a little emotional back in 2022, but it didn't make me cry this year. So yeah. Books that made you happy, I will say The Partner Plot. This was the sequel to The Neighbor Favorite, which I actually have over here somewhere. And The Partner Plot, it was a good book. I enjoyed it. It's a romance. It's about Violet Green. She loves fashion. She's a celebrity stylist. She reconnects with her high school sweetheart, and they have their ups and downs in this, reconnection. And I enjoyed this book. It was a fun time. Now, I did enjoy The Neighbor Favorite more. I did indeed. But The Partner Plot still, it lifted my spirits. I enjoyed it. It was cool. The most beautiful book you bought or received. I'm gonna say A Love Song for Ricky Wow. I love this cover. Look at these beautiful people. Look at these beautiful people. Look at these beautiful people. Look at these beautiful people on the cover of this book. Look at them. Just look at them. Look at them. This has to be, yeah. I feel like there's others. There's definitely, watch when I finish recording this video, I'm like, damn, I really enjoyed that cover. Because I'm telling y'all, a good cover will get me. A good cover will get me every single time. I swear to you. I'm like, I'm telling you, it will get me every single time. I just might buy it just for the cover. I'm telling you. But I did enjoy this book, and I talked about how I wasn't really sure if I was going to enjoy it or not because I didn't really enjoy 7 Days in June, but this one I did enjoy a lot more. And yeah, it's a beautiful cover. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. What's the other one? You are beautiful, and every single way. Words won't bring you down. There's all these beautiful girls. Hold on, I can go on forever. I won't do it for the sake of this video. Yeah. I don't want another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to hold. I want you and your beautiful soul. Yeah, please, don't get me started. Please. There needs to be a karaoke book theme event. I promise you, I will shut that bitch down. I promise you, you're not seeing me. Please, they need to do that. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, I promise you. They not seeing me. I have picked this book up for something. Oh, favorite new author / debut, whether it be a debut or new to you. I'm gonna go with All the Right Notes. Now, I won't say my favorite new author, but I enjoyed this book, and this author was new to me. So yeah, for the sake of this question, I'm gonna go with All the Right Notes by Dominic Lim. This book is about Keto Cruz, who he might be a genius piano player and composer in New York City now, but that doesn't mean he's any closer to his Broadway dream. And his life is just not, what he imagined it being. And we go back and forth through present day and past timelines when he first met this guy named, what was his name? Emmett. And they had like a friendship or a relationship in high school, and then they went their separate ways. There was some drama, there was some mess, and now they are reconnected, and mess and drama ensues. That's basically the gist of this book. But I really did enjoy this book. I enjoyed mostly the side characters, I will say. Like our main character's dad and then our main character's best friend were like the highlight of this book for me. I really did enjoy it. It's got music in it. Obviously, as you just saw, I'm always singing. And yeah, so the audiobook was really good. And I just enjoyed it. It was cool. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I feel like you should try it. Yeah. Books that I need to read before the end of the year. We're going to start right here with The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store. I bought this book last year. And I DNF'd it because it just was not doing for me what it's doing for all the other people. I know this book has gotten so much critical acclaim. The people love it. It's got great reviews, and I'm very happy for James McBride. But for some reason, it's not doing for me what it is doing for the other people. So, but I really, really want to give this a try. So I will be going back to this and I want to finish it before this year is up, okay? The other one is August. I have it over here. Where is it at? It's over here somewhere. Over there somewhere. I just had to put the thumbnail on the screen, but it's August, and then there's another one I recently bought, Pay As You Go. Now, Pay As You Go is thick. Pay As You Go is thick. I actually want to get up and show y'all, but I really don't feel like it. When next time I get it, I'm gonna be turning this camera off. That's what I'm gonna be doing. But thick, not thick, Pay As You Go and August are two books that I want to, two other books that I want to finish this year. Pay As You Go is about this guy who, maybe I'll just have to get up because now I need another synopsis. Okay, I got it. Now, do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? First of all, how many pages is this damn book? Oh, it's actually not as many as I thought it was. Like, but it's still a lot. It's still a lot. This book is like 500 pages. Y'all know. What did I know, and I know that might be nothing to y'all. They be reading them thick-ass fantasy science fiction books. They be like 12 million pages, but 500 pages for me, because I done told y'all, what do I always say? When we get to about 300, 350, clock me out. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. What more do we have to say? What more? Now, I have read plenty of books that are longer than that. I know I have. But still, I'm just saying, 500 pages, girl, what's going on? What the fuck do we have to talk about? This book is about new to town and delusionally confident. Slide imagined himself living in a glossy building with doormen and sweeping views of the skyline. Instead, he's landed in a creaky, stuffy apartment with two roommates. So this is about a guy named Slide who's just basically bouncing all over the place and just trying to find his way. And he meets a plethora of interesting and entertaining characters. So, yeah. And I think that's the best way to describe this book. And yeah, 500 pages. Ooh, help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. August, I feel like I bought this book like well over, it was 2023. I think it was like early 2023 I bought this book, and I've been saying for the longest I'm gonna get to it. And I have yet to get to it. And I've talked about it before. So yeah, August is another one that I need to get to. And yeah, that's it. That is really it. How many books have I read so far this year? Let me see. So far, I have read 54 books this year. And those are just, a quick little glance at some of them. And I don't really, it's not about, if I can get my words out. It's not, like I always say, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. But I do always just put just a standard goal of, I want to read 100 books this year. And if I reach that, I do. If I don't, then I don't. But I'm pretty sure I will, because I do tend to read a lot. Now, I will say in the last month of June, I did not read many books at all. And I wasn't going to force myself to. Every time I pick up a book, I was just like, oh, I'm not interested in this. Oh, I'm not interested in that. So I ended up reading only like 5 books in June. And I normally read like at least 10 books a month. But I was just like, hey, if it ain't working, baby, it's not working. I'm not going to force myself, because if I read a book, I actually want to enjoy it and be invested in it. So yeah, 54 books so far this year. I'm hoping that these, the last 6 months of the year pick up and I get some really, really great reads, some that I just can't stop talking about and just can't shut up about. And yeah, that's it for me in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'll see you in my next one. Thank you for watching.